mystery and horror, the air itself is filled with monsters.
Children of the night, what music they make. He's alive! He's alive!
Well, hello, all you monster fiends, and thank you for joining us for another deep dive, factoid-filled episode exploring Hollywood's most famous monsters. I am your mistress of ceremonies, Sam, and I'm joined, as always, by Dan from Bleeding Marvelous. Say hello, Dan.
You goddamn son of a bitch! What is it you want? Hiya!
Is that your George C. Scott?
You goddamn son of a bitch!
Even with a bad voice, you still sound amazing.
Hey, people are getting what they're getting at this point. This con lurgy, you can't catch it through the
No.
airwaves or the YouTubers. So just be grateful. It's not the vid though. It's not the vid. The test has been done. I am a clean, plagueless woman.
She's just got the lurgy.
I've just possibly been coughed on by badgers, but you know, I blame Brian May. I blame Brian May.
She said there's that today, and I just went, yep, there's that.
Badgers.
Oh,
It's always the badgers. They're giving me
it's
tea.
always.
Just stick me out on a veranda like they do by the seaside. That's what they do with those old ladies, isn't it? In the 1800s. Take them to the seaside, stick them on the veranda, and they get
Oh, with a blanket over your knees and everything, yeah. I'll make sure you're comfy.
Yeah, she'll die of
So you know.
of hypothermia, but it's fine. No, she'll get in the fresh air. It'll get
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dead. That's why it gets rid of the That took a turn.
Hi everyone.
Hiya.
Welcome to a new episode of the Monsters of North podcast. Oh my god. Big, massive congratulations to Bleeding Marvelous at this year's For the Love of Horror. Fucking smashing it out the park. I'm just kicking the episode off with that. Let's start in a high.
If you didn't see us, I don't know where you bloody well were, because we had two 40-foot signs above us and a great big screen.
You might as well have had the Beetlejuice sign saying, "We are here."
Yeah, it was insane. And I did a little video across the socials thanking everybody. But also I wanted to say a lot of people did come up and have a conversation with me and talk about the podcast and talk about the shop and things like that. So I do want to apologize if you didn't think that I was wholly invested in the conversation. It was just so busy. And I had to be 15 places at once in my head. I had to make sure I was serving, make sure I was being nice and, you know, like listening to what people were saying. But I just don't want anybody to think that I was being rude, because it was not intentional. I was just very preoccupied with the 75,000 people buying from us, which, again, not a bad thing. Just a lot.
Class. The setup look absolutely amazing. The big giant skeleton, just amazing.
I think we might run a competition with them in April if we get in, to give him a name, because he's still named.
Oh Jesus! I thought you were going to say something completely different there. Yes, no. Give him a name.
They're not having him. He's mine.
No, I was going to say.
How dare you?
Very sorry, but no, a name. That would be a good idea.
Not Brian May, that's for sure.
Before we start this episode, bearing in mind we have just been talking forever before we came on, and I've managed to keep this to myself until now because I had the biggest laugh before I came on to record this. I'm flicking through TikTok as usual, and there's a video of the latest Ghost Hunters that's just come out. So it's the episode where Aaron gets the phone call from the police that his wife's gonna murder him. It is fucking... The situation with Aaron is not hilarious by any stretch of the imagination, and I will stress that now. She deserves to be where she is. However, it's Zach's reaction to it. So Aaron's in this dark hallway with this other guy, and they're just about to start their investigation, and an alert picks up on his phone, and he's like, "Shit, dude, the police are at my door." And the guy's like, "Okay, well, let's go and sort it, but I ain't staying here on my own." So they kind of walks out of the building, and then You can see Aaron blurrily on the phone, and Zach cuts the thing off and goes, "That's the only thing. This is where the footage is going to end. But this is what's happening to Aaron right now," and proceeds to tell you everything that's going on. The dude got no privacy whatsoever, and they fucking aired it.
Dear Zach Bagans, jog on, you piece of human garbage. Thank
What?
you.
I
The
could
world.
not. I could not stop laughing. I went, "You cannot be fucking serious."
I think Aaron sold his soul accidentally. When they
He
first
must
started out,
have.
he must have signed something like some sort of clause or contract that gave him no privacy when it came to being on screen. If anything happened in front of the camera,
Yeah.
it's fair game. And this is what I feel like this hangs under. But he loved her so much, and she did a murder for hire with a
Yeah.
plot with a guy that was already inside for a webcam. He murdered his family because they wouldn't give him money to give to a webcam girl, and
Well, he's.
he killed his mum and dad for over the money or something
Well,
like that.
he sounds absolutely delightful.
It's absolutely insanity. Like, you take one look at that guy, you take one look at Aaron, and I'm like, how do we make this leap? It sheer manipulation on her behalf? What the hell was it?
No
And
idea.
still
It's
don't, I'm none the
crazy.
wiser. I just know that that
Crazy.
guy was wounded,
But
absolutely
that
wounded,
episode has now gone out.
right? There might be one that I might actually watch because I feel bad for Aaron, but I'm a nosy bastard and I feel like I need to watch it or
Just
I'll
to
find the
see.
clip on TikTok.
Yeah, find the clip on TikTok. Don't watch the full episode. Don't give fucking Zach that
No,
amount of
he's
attention.
not having that.
No,
Thanks.
but yeah, I thought I had to bring that up. I managed to sit on that entire time. Um, we're actually here for The Changeling, which is not again to be mistaken with the Angelina Jolie movie of the same name. This is the 1980s one, and I can't wait to talk about this because this, surprisingly, is actually one of my favorite ghosty stories. I love it, and it is a movie that has inspired so many other movies. So I want to do the disclaimer, and then we're going to crack on open The Changeling, a movie title that I can't spell. Do you know how hard it is as a dyslexic to spell The Changeling?
Does it have an E? Does it not have an E?
Does it have an R? Where's the R? Changeling. It's not how you pronounce it either. It's Changeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my brain could not comprehend that. So, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions, and it's our opinions alone. And if you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on our socials or in the comment section, where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So, let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behavior out of nerdism.
Come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Don't be a dick. Okay?
You know what? Generally did get a little bit of a shock.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Some fries, motherfucker. Sorry. I have to finish. I have to say, I know there's more to that, but it's
Mhm.
just the fries one gets us every time. Hey, right. The Changeling is the 1980 Canadian supernatural psychological horror film directed by Peter Medak, written by William Gray and Diana Maddox, and starring the amazing George C. Scott, Trisha Van Devon, Melvin Douglas. Its plot follows an esteemed New York City composer who relocates to a Seattle mansion, which to a Seattle mansion he becomes to believe is haunted. I wrote this. Two people live in this house. One of them has been dead for 70 years.
Dun dun dun.
Monsters Up North brings you The Changeling. I had to write the 70 years bit in because it reminded us of Friends. Betsy's been dead for 7 years. I absolutely adore this film. And I think if I didn't watch Stir of Echoes, I don't think I would have I don't think I would ever have found this film. Because Stir of Echoes is, for all it is kind of the same kind of idea. Is a ghost wanting to, be helped in order to be laid to rest. They just have to, manipulate somebody else in order to do that.
Mhm.
And it was when I was searching movies like, and this one came up. And this reminds me, this is an 80s, this is like literally on the cusp of the 80s. It's 1980, but it feels so much like an early 70s horror.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you watch the Shudder version, not the 4K version. The version that's on Shudder is so grainy.
Oh,
It
is it?
unmastered. It's unfortunately the one I watched, and I found it incredibly difficult to watch.
Oh,
Not because of the subject matter or the
yeah.
storytelling or anything like that, but it was so hard to watch because of how grainy it was. You couldn't. I'm a VHS girly. That's the era I come from. I understand graininess, but now when we're in a world of 4K and
Mm.
you get Blu-ray and you get all these like amazingly clear things. I know it just got released recently on 4K. I say recently, it was either the last couple of years, I think. But the version that's on Shudder is
Mm.
not the 4K version. So it was kind of hard to stay in the film because when they
Mm.
were like swapping, you couldn't really make out some of the details, like with the
Oh.
scenery and things like that. So it was kind of,
Oh, that's a shame.
yeah.
Um, I do love grainy aesthetic, and especially you're right because of like the VHS era. But I don't particularly nowadays want to watch a movie that I look like I would need a track.
Oh,
Can you
I
remember
get that.
tracking?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. But I also don't want to watch a movie that looks like it's entirely made out of AI because it's been so
Yes.
well remastered that everything looks weird. I don't want that either. I
No.
just want to, I don't know. I'm not looking for crystal clear clarity and being able to see water like in the way you
No.
your eyes. I don't give a crap about any of that. I know I'm watching a film. I
Mm.
don't need to, yeah, like you say, there's either there's two ends of the spectrum, and this one, unfortunately, the version I watched put me way back there. And it has a charm to it for sure, the graininess. And I'm not saying don't
Hmm.
enjoy it that way. I just found it very hard for it to keep my attention because of how fuzzy it was, and when they were chopping and changing, going through the
Mm.
house, and then it was like I couldn't quite tell where they were.
That's such a shame because that house is beautiful. Like you need, it's actually, it's one of the influences you can see where it has been influenced, and it's the house.
But it's not real, is it?
No, it's not.
I thought I
No,
read that. I thought I read it
no,
was real.
it's not. It's been wholly fabricated because I said at the beginning, Canadian, in Canada it's a lot cheaper to do movies.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's wholly built up from the ground up. Yeah, this movie has inspired so many other ones. I always knew the scary movie, Scary Movie 2 with the ball. That
Mhm.
was always, but there's so many others. There is The Ring. It's the American version of
Right.
The
No, I
Ring.
kind of get it because Samara's trying to tell them how she died. Da da
Yeah.
da. Yeah.
The significant thematic and atmospheric parallels with the Changeling, leading to the conclusion that the 1980 film served as a major inspiration for The Ring. The most obvious one is The Conjuring. Ghost stories,
Mm,
ghosts
yeah,
trying to get to peace, and Ed and Lorraine Warren, the only people who can crack that case.
yeah, good old Ed and the Rain.
Blech. Um, that way. Gladiator. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry. When you were doing it, I'm looking at you going, whoa, what's the reference?
I've turned into
Gladiator.
Joaquin Phoenix, have I?
Damn it. Um, Hereditary? So these are all grouped together. The Hereditary, the Babadook, and The Witch. I'm guessing The Witch. And these films have been influenced by the Changeling exploration of psychological horror and its ability to blur the lines between reality and supernatural.
Okay, I kind of get it, but that seems a stretch. But I
It
mean,
does seem a stretch.
The Babadook I get because that is grief based. So I get the
Yeah.
relationship between the fact that this movie is also born
Oh,
of
it's all
grief,
about grief. Yeah.
which is one of the worst death scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. Can I just add that in? Iconic,
We will
but
get to
bloody
it, but
terrible.
but could have been very much avoided. But We will get to that.
Yeah.
I do get what you mean though. It is a bit of a stretch, but you are right. There's the grief element in there. It's also in the Witch's Well. The Witch's Well.
Witches, then? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the Witch, there's also that element of grief as well.
Yeah.
So I get that side of it. Hereditary grief too. So it must be the grief part that kind of brings it all together, or the psychological part of grief that these movies are portraying.
I would say with Hereditary, there is a hell of a lot of psychological stuff that they do within the movie, as in the
Yeah.
the music,
Oh God, yeah.
the grandmother manipulating the situation. I suppose, whilst I know there's no technical manipulation other than from Joseph in this, there is an element of it. So yeah, I can see that being carried forward. But really, I wouldn't have gone, oh yeah, this was
Hereditary. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not at all. We have to cover Hereditary at some point though.
Yes, because cheese wire.
The one that we did know about, and I think only because you mentioned it, was The Others.
Nicole Kidman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I only watched that recently. My little friend Demi banged on about this movie for fucking ever, to the point where I watched it and I genuinely didn't know the twist at the end.
I was surprised. The first time I ever saw it, I was really surprised, and then after that, it just you're not, because you know it.
You know it, yeah.
Yeah.
But knowing me, I probably will forget at some point and then go back and watch it. Yeah, and it doesn't cite what the inspiration is, but it just says it inspired The Others. And the last one, I hope you get this from the reference I mentioned about the house, Crimson Peak.
Yes, ghosts.
Yeah, well, yeah. Guillermo del Toro has mentioned that Changeling inspired him practically in the use of specific scary elements and the blend of horror and romance. And I get the romance side of it because of how romantic that house looks.
Yeah, and also because there is that, it's not necessarily a romantic relationship as in him and Claire, but there is an element that you can see they are getting closer as the film goes on. It's not necessarily a sexual relationship.
No.
But
I wouldn't have branded it like that.
No, but you can see there's like a romantic relationship with him and the house, and Claire and the house. They all have this love for this beautiful house. So I kind of understand from that point of view, yes, the romantic element, but if you're comparing it to the romantic element that was in Crimson Peak, that's incest, and that is that's not quite the trail we're going down.
I've only ever seen that once, so again, might as well have not seen it at all. But I just remember a lot of red.
Yeah, if I'm right, it was Eva Green and Tom
Hiddleston. Yeah, Hiddleston.
Their brother and sister.
Was it Helen Mirren? Was she in that? Am I making that up?
No, she wasn't in that. She was in Winchester. She was dressed very
That's it.
But
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it was those two, and then they took the girl who played Alice from Alice in Wonderland. She was in Crimson Peak. And I've forgotten her name. I do apologise.
I'm not even going to try. I will offend someone.
And then, yeah, her family pawn her off onto this guy because he needs an heir and dowries and all that sort of stuff. So she goes to be with him, and he gets her dowry, and they go to Crimson Peak, and it turns out he's not as well off as he made out, and they were dependent on her dowry, and they got it, but nothing really happened, and she didn't really have much. And then so when she moved in, all she kept seeing was ghosts. Technically Doug Jones, who I've met.
Oh my God, yes. What an amazing picture, by the way.
Yeah, he was so lovely. Absolutely lovely. I walked into the photo op and I said 2 things. He went, of course, and he took both my hands and he held my hands. And I said, I'd just like to say my name is Jerry is one of my favourite movies you've ever done. And the shock on his face, literally, he just looked so taken aback, like someone knew the movie. Because we covered that in the Doug Jones episode that we did back then. And I said, and secondly, can we just look really miserable in this photo, please? And he looked at me and he went, what are we talking here? Forlorn, depressed? He wanted his motivations. He was really going for it. I went, any of the above, you really just don't want to be in this photo op with me. And he was like, oh, but I do. But I'll do that as that's just what you want. I said, thank you.
Oh,
So then he went 1, 2, 3, and then he pulled that face, and I was just like, "There's no way I can top that." And
no.
then he said, "Wait here, we'll just look at it." And he looked at it on the because they have a camera, they have a
Mhm.
laptop on the side where you can see the photo. And Doug was really happy with it. They were all laughing. They were all laughing at it as well. And he said, "Oh, isn't that wonderful? Thank you so much." And I was just like,
I
"It's
love the
so
fact that you get
genuine."
people to do that. I think
Oh,
it's
I did it with Devon.
hilarious.
I did it with Devon Sawa and Jamie Kennedy this weekend. So, and they all
You
did it.
didn't, so you send us that one, but not the Devon Sawyer one.
No, Devon was
God,
really tall, which surprised
did
me.
he smell really good?
I don't recall. Jamie Kennedy was a bit handsy though. Um,
Mm?
that was the dress day though. On Saturday, and he is 6'3".
Sawyer?
Jamie Kennedy,
Kennedy?
Randy,
No
at least
way.
6'2", 6'3". No word of a lie. I was so confused when I walked in and saw how tall he was.
I thought he was short.
Because he looks tiny compared to Skeet. And well, no, compared to Matt, sorry.
Matthew, yeah.
And like Skeet is a lot smaller than Matthew.
Well,
So yeah, I was kind of taken aback, but Jamie was like very much like it was almost a prom photo at one point because there was
oh,
hands.
you should have done that.
Yeah, I should have done looking back now, but I said to him, "Is it all right if we look really, really miserable?" He went, "I can do that." And then he was like rubbing my back, and I was just like, "Okay, I need to get out of here now. This is kind of geeking me out a little bit." I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
getting felt up by Randy.
no, but maybe that's just what he's like. Maybe it's a thing
Yeah.
for him. Maybe it's like a reassurance for him because he's not like
Or maybe he's just trying to reassure you.
he might
Like,
have. I wouldn't be surprised if he had anxiety because that was a hell of a weekend for someone to work. So it's probably
yeah.
just reassuring
And
himself.
he was like really like center of attention.
Busy, so busy. But everybody was laughing at me because the lovely Amy, who also helps out the traders, was taking the photo, and the photo went, and she started wetting herself. She went, "Damn, for fuck's sake!" I was like,
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm shocked though. He's going to be back in April, isn't he?
"Is Jamie coming back?"
I think.
I
Oh my
know Matt and
gosh.
Skeet are, but I
I
don't know.
know that. I think that I'm sure there was an announcement to say that he was coming back.
It's a possibility for the whole kind of
I
spring
could be
period.
making that up, you know.
But
There was a lot went on at the weekend, and
yeah,
the announcing people as well, but at the same time for April, and I was like, oh my God, I wasn't even there. I was just at home.
but yeah, Doug was the majority of the ghosts in Crimson Peak as well.
Mm.
So I would say that there is I can see kind of the inspiration as in haunted big mansion house type thing.
It's
But
sorry, it was just the infrastructure of the house that got me. Like
mhm,
the actual furniture, the big staircase, the big chandelier,
mhm,
the romanticism of the house. That's the only thing I could kind of, if my memory lets me jog back to Crimson Peak, that's what I'm picking up from it. The wheelchair, how that's so old and elegant and Victorian and
mhm.
uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, I found this film strange.
yeah.
Yeah, not in a bad way, just in the sense of that I always have a very love-hate relationship with slow burners. And
Okay.
it's not because I'm used to I do love films that keep me entertained, don't get me wrong. But when
Hmm.
you know you're going into a slow burner, you know what you're getting yourself into.
True.
I just there was just so much emptiness in this film. And I don't know whether that was intentional to show you his despair and what his life is without his family or just how much he needed to fill it with either music or
Mm,
something. And then when all this nonsense starts kicking off, um, because she was saying, we're going to entrust the house to you now, you're going to look after this house. And he does a lovely job with the house. It goes from this unattended house that's been empty for years. He moves in, he makes it bright, he makes
mm.
it clean, he furnishes it with bright colors. It's not like garish, it's just open.
No.
And like Joseph was not happy about it, from what I
He
can
was
gather.
he was not. He was not. The film is actually inspired by real events. And
Yes.
I'm going to read how I got it from the internet so I do not mess this story up. So the film's screenplay was inspired by events that allegedly took place at the Henry Treat Rogers Mansion in Cheesman Park, Denver, Colorado. While playwright and composer Russell Hunter was living there during the 1960s, after an experience in a series of unexplained phenomenon in the house, Hunter said he found a century-old journal in a hidden room detailing the life of a disabled boy who was kept in isolation by his parents, who sought to, I could say this word, usurp a 70 million fortune he was set to inherit from an affluent relative. During a seance, he claimed the spirit of a deceased boy directed him to another house where human remains and a gold medallion bearing the dead boy's name was discovered. Henry Treat Rogers, a wealthy Denver attorney, was childless, but prior inhabitants of the house remain undocumented. The mansion was demolished during the 1980s and replaced with a high-rise building. There is absolutely no warranted evidence that this is real.
Yeah. I know that Russell Hunter was partly brought in on the film as kind of like a, what do they call them? Consultant.
Yes, sorry, my brain was trying to think of a
No,
word
mine
there.
was as well. Yeah, he was brought in as a consultant on this movie, and he's only done that on 2 movies, this and another one, but the other one, I couldn't even tell you what it was. He wanted to make sure it was as true to what he remembered, but still it was still allowed to be its own thing at the same time. So
Yeah.
Russell Hunter was a playwright and a book like an author.
Oh,
And
okay.
they made George C. Scott's character a musician and a music teacher, and a composer, didn't they? And so he was supposed to be more amenable. I think I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm supposed to like him, because he's not very. He's not likable immediately, is he? Like it takes.
No, he's so standoffish, and it's kind of like where his character is like not character like the character of him is kind of gone because of the disaster that happened at the beginning. There is absolutely no record of this family existing, this
Mm.
fortune existing whatsoever. So it is kind of just, it could be an elaborate story, it could be a cover up. Who knows?
To be fair, though, if Russell Hunter was an author, let's just say that it could have possibly been fiction. Like
Oh,
we're possibly going down to the L. Ron Hubbard,
I knew you were going to say L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah.
Scientology.
You can create fucking religions off your books.
Exactly. So to create a movie isn't that far-fetched, is it? So it's a
That's true.
possibility. And let's not dismiss the fact that that is that guy's truth if it actually happened.
Yeah.
But
You mentioned about the house isn't real at all, and it's because they couldn't actually find a mansion that suited the needs that they wanted for Victorian Gothic. Not with their budget anyway. So they built it.
well, the budget was still fairly big because of George C. Scott coming into it. And Claire was played by his real life wife, wasn't she?
Hmm.
So the pair of
Wife
them,
number 4.
yeah, the pair of them though were a hell of a powerhouse dynamic at the time going into it. So they managed to bag a budget of 6.6 million to make this movie. And I think about 6.5 million of that went on building the facade of the house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They were a married couple. I was reading about George C. Scott today. I forget, the movies that he's been in. Bloody Exorcist 3. He's Ebenezer Scrooge
they're the
in
only 2 horror
Christmas
movies
Carol.
he's ever done, The Changeling and Exorcist 3.
Oh my gosh, that's so surprising because he really did fit into this movie. I felt he did anyway. But every time I see him, I just think of Christmas Carol. It's the one my mum always used to make us watch, was with George C. Scott in it. But yeah, she was wife number 4, and he was with her until he died. He died in 1990,
9.
1999.
I
And
could be wrong, but
no, I think you are absolutely right. Um, I've got Google here, but you have possibly seen his grave without actually knowing it.
Is he in West Thingy
Yep,
Memorial?
yep. Westwood Memorial.
Yeah.
You were absolutely dead on the money. 1999, September 22nd. Yes, he's at Westwood Memorial. Now, you know where, this is going to be a weird conversation. You know where Jack Lemmon is?
Yes.
He's on there.
Oh, it's on that. Right. To those of you that have never seen a walk round, go watch Grave Encounters. No, they're not called Grave. Hollywood.
Hollywood Graveyards.
That's the one. I'm thinking of Grave Encounters because that's a whole another film we've got to do. But
Mm,
yeah, if you go watch that, there he does walk rounds, and I can
yeah.
see it now. You come in to the graveyard, you turn,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a big circle, and in the middle you've got Vampira, you've got so many people in the middle. Betty Page, they're all in the middle bit. And as you go down, you've got Heather O'Rourke, and then you've got Marilyn, and you've got Hugh. And as you go around, you've got Farrah Fawcett, Jack Lemmon. And in that bit, it's right near the actual main building. So you've got Farrah Fawcett and Jack Lemmon there, and it's like kind of a garden area. And
Yeah.
they've got bigger headstones on that section. Whereas the middle section is all like the creme plaques.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's Jack's got the little gardeny bit with and it's like a little, and he's got hedges here.
Yeah.
George C. Scott has exactly the same. It's that row that he's on.
Right.
But it's an unmarked grave.
All right. Weird.
So he has a stone.
Yeah.
It's just not, and the likelihood is she's probably in that plot with him, and they'll do the stone when she's in there.
Right. Okay. So it's like one of the where they bought it together.
Yeah, yeah. Which is odd because the couples don't tend to do this style of burial together. They
Mm.
do the crypt ones where they're
Yeah.
in the wall, but they don't usually do these styles. So I don't know. I could be really reaching there, but from what I can see, it's a slate,
Mm.
but there is nothing on there.
Yeah, they do put slates up on people who haven't got headstones as of yet in the garden section. Yeah,
I
I've seen.
know. I love Hollywood Graveyards. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels. I fall asleep to the voice of Arthur Dark. Even Anth says it's the most comforting thing to listen to on a nighttime because you've got the beautiful music by Giuseppe playing in the background of like old Hollywood, and then you've got Arthur with these sultry tones. Oh, and telling you all these amazing stories about all these amazing people.
I think I've been there like 3 or 4 times now to that one.
I love the fact that I could just say, do you know where this person is? Well, he's right there.
I can envisage where he is because I can even remember Jack Lemmon's gravestone. I've been there that many times. So
Starring in.
mm.
I love it. I love Jack Lemmon's marker. Speaking of gravestones, Scott,
Yeah,
dearly departed.
on tape. No,
Yeah,
the other one.
no,
Silly Departed. Scott on tape's the other one with the mohawk. Yep.
It's Scott Michaels, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never say his
Mine.
name right, but I know it because I watch his friggin' YouTube channel all the time.
And I've met Scott before a couple of times, so I should know.
Oh my God, he has put a fundraiser together for Elsa Lancaster. Did I mention this last week?
Did he reach it? Because
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Right, okay.
He did. So as of her 123rd birthday, it's going to be I think it's the 29th of October, they are having a full-on reveal. He sent the invitations out.
Isn't she next to Charles?
Lorna, because he's buried there.
I know.
He might be.
Yeah,
He's buried there. She never was.
Yeah, because obviously I think we did have this discussion, or I'm having some sort of really weird deja vu moment. But
I can't remember.
I know they were beards, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like
it was definitely a marriage of convenience.
Yeah, because Charles was openly gay, but he also wanted the pleasure of being able to hide.
And work.
He was openly gay in the Hollywood scene, but out, to the public, he wasn't. So he had to put on the front of lavender marriage, I think they call it now, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I think I guessed it on the Women in Nerd Cultures podcast last week. And I was talking about because we've done The Bride of Frankenstein before, and to be honest, it's so long ago I genuinely can't remember half the shit that I found out about her on there. But her marriage was a topic of conversation in the Hollywood scandals, in the gossips. And there was one woman who thought she was doing them a favor because there was one that it was always, well, because they were such a power couple,
Mm.
like, well, why have they never had children? Why have they not had children? And this was like going on and whispers and talk. And the one woman turned around and went, it's because he's gay. She thought that she was genuinely doing them a favor
Yeah.
by saying this, and it just caused another outrage and another scandal.
Yeah, I
But
remember
yeah,
now.
she's getting a marker. You good? Oh, bless you.
I'm good. Yeah, no, yeah, I do remember that, but yeah. This is the weird thing with this film.
Mm.
So many people forget this one huge fact, or they don't know it.
Mm.
Now, I could have done this in the 666, but I'm not going to. I'm going to talk about it because it struck me as such a weird fact.
Okay. I don't know what it is.
Joshua Jackson,
Oh my god, yeah, I do know what it is.
movie.
Yeah, he's in it.
Now those of you go, Joshua Jackson. Okay. I'm going to tell you. Pacey from Dawson's Creek, or he was in Mighty Ducks as I've gone blank on his name for Mighty Ducks, but he was the main kid in Mighty Ducks. Joshua Jackson was also in Fringe. He
Scream 2.
has most recently been in the Doctor, what was it, Doctor Evil? I can't remember what that was called, the series where he played that surgeon who wasn't a surgeon in real life based on a TV show.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you told me about that. He's in
Joshua
Scream
Jackson,
2.
yeah, he's the one who sits there and goes, I believe that the line is actually stay away from her, you bitch, or get away from her, you bitch. He does that sarcastic
Yeah, and
comment.
then Randy just shuts him down.
He's
He's in
also
Urban
in
Legend as
Urban
well.
Legend because the pop
Yep.
rocks thing with the Pepsi. Joshua Jackson's been in a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but this was his first acting break, and he was only a couple of months old, which makes
Nice.
him my age,
Yep.
give or take a couple of months.
Yeah. He was
So
he was
that
a
confused
baby.
me. Yeah,
He was a baby.
wee
Do you know
baby.
do you know why he was in it?
No.
His mum's the assistant producer.
Oh, well, that would make perfect sense then, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
like that bit I couldn't find out. And I was just like, I was trying to, I think I got distracted by some other fact that popped up, like when you're looking and you're going through and you go, oh, and then you start going down a different rabbit hole when you forget what you were searching in the first. But yeah, that one kind of made me go,
I thought it was the boy in the bath.
yeah, I mean, that would have made him actually no, because this was filmed in 78, 79, released in 80. So Joshua Jackson's 2 years older than me.
He was the baby. Yeah, his mum's assistant, executive assistant producer or something like that.
Right.
She was working on the movie, hence the reason why Joshua was there. But I totally forgot about the whole being a few months old.
Hmm.
I was like, oh my God, they're killing Joshua Jackson in the bath. The most weirdest way possible.
That
He could
was a
have,
strange scene to watch, I will say, because that went on and on and on. And I'm like, stop it now. Stop
yeah.
it now.
It makes you feel so uncomfortable. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm just thinking to myself, if you just put your hands flat, stop flapping, calm down,
Start from
you'd be able to lift your head up. He's only got your feet.
it's just
Um,
mm,
tell you what, we'll go through the film quickly because there is some bits and pieces I want to talk about. One being the opening scene.
yes, please do, because
Yeah, we need to talk about this. I don't go and watch this on Tubi, by the way. It might say it's for free. It's in fucking German. So don't go and watch it there. Because when I turned it on, because instantly there's voices as soon as it comes on, which is great for me. Because normally I have to wait through a load of credits before it starts speaking in a different language. But yeah, instantly shouting German at us. Yeah, so the opening scene is him, his wife, and daughter pushing a car up a hill because it's all snowy
yeah,
and they've broken down, and he finds conveniently a payphone
in randomly unaffected by snow. But yeah, okay.
in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And Dan, I don't know what's funnier, him not being able to get out of the phone booth or the actual death itself.
Now, I've seen this scene on so many of those like top something or others, or even like In Search of Darkness. This scene has become is always something that people talk about. And it is just the way the mother and daughter could have run either way, but they just lay down. And it's like,
Yeah, they waited for death.
choices were made.
Mm-hmm. It's not like it's a quick thing. It's not like the car went whoosh and boom, they were gone. It was slow motion. Like it was going at a snail's pace.
It was such a weird situation because you got the police-ish car coming around, which I thought was a big car, but might have not been. There was like a police car that come around the corner. Then you got the lorry coming the other way. Then the police car was suddenly across. Like, I don't even know how it got to block both lanes because you didn't see that happen. You didn't see it snaking or anything like that. You just saw them driving around. Then I looked, and then the lorry didn't touch that car. It crashed into the station wagon. And I was just like, how did that go over there? It didn't make any sense to me, but I suppose I'm just looking into it a bit too much. I think the thing that just completely threw me in that opening scene was him going, no, like Ron Swanson, and not Ron Swanson, fucking
No,
Ron
Burgundy.
in his glass case of emotion.
Like literally in the glass case of emotion.
That's what it reminded me of. And then just see
He
them
could,
grab each other, like she grabs her daughter and then she just lays down on the floor. And I'm like,
and but then magically disappears.
yeah.
Because when they're not there, when
No.
the car hits, they're gone. Yeah, that. Oh, I understand that in order for John to be able to, express the grief and I feel we do need to see what causes that.
Yeah.
But it could have been done a lot better. It's when he's trying to get out the phone booth.
He just got confused. So
What? Confused?
well, you got to think in
How
America.
do I open a door?
We have to remember we have doors in our phone booths in England and Ireland and
Like
Scotland and Wales and probably most of Europe. We have doors that just open. We don't have that concertina thing that they.
Yeah.
So, that concertina thing can be confusing. You don't know whether it's a push or a pull. I don't know.
Granted, mind, I'd be there forever trying to get out of it, to be fair. My grandmother used to have one of those doors.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were annoying as shit. So, granted, I'll give him that. But still, it's just, it's life or death. Figure out the door.
I think this is the thing. I think this is where we're supposed to suddenly get the empathy for him because we're like, oh my God, yeah, his family have just died and he couldn't help them because he couldn't get out of the phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, why did you shut the door in the first place? You're making a phone call on a road where there's no cars. It wouldn't have made any difference because you don't have any outside noise.
No.
So you could have had you could have had the door open. So
also, he had plenty of time. Because he saw the car coming up. He saw the lorry speeding along. He had plenty of time to go, get out of the way.
So the guilt comes from him wanting his wife and his kid dead. I don't know if you look at that.
That's what it looks like. So after John's horrible, tragic loss, he decides that he's going to go and move into this beautiful house.
So he's moving from New York, which is where he's supposed to have lived, all the way across to Seattle, which is on the other side, from what I can gather. I'm presuming it's the Seattle on the other side of the country. Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, he moves into this beautiful house to try and get it gives it lays out John as how not important, but what he does. He's been, he's a composer and he's into music. He does music. So basically he's just starting his life all over again. And he's a proper miserable bastard about it.
Yeah, he's very grumpy. He's like a grumpy old sod.
It's understandable. It is understandable. He find in the house that he's living in, he finds a music box, and that plays
when he has that breakdown, like he keeps hearing that thump, 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 and
so he hears the thump on a morning,
The only issue I have with that thump is whoever did the Foley stage work on that film could have changed up that thumping sound.
Mhm.
It was exactly the same thump, just repeated over and over again. Not to a point of where it was creepy, just from a point where you were just like, that doesn't actually sound like it's happening.
No,
On the copy
that
I
just
had, it just sounded really disjointed, like it was laid over, and someone was shouting bang, bang, bang from behind the camera. And he was reacting to it. And I was just like, oh, that doesn't sit, that noise just you know when you don't like a noise,
Oh
misphonia.
yeah, yeah,
It gave me a little element of misphonia, I will say. I was like, oh,
yeah. And also, I'm going to get to this death in a bit because it's ridiculous.
mhm.
You wouldn't be so consistent in your bangs in
Oh
Panic.
God, no, 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 no.
It'd be all over the place, but hey, I'll get to that in a minute. So yes, he's hearing the banging.
Mhm.
He's got a
And
song stuck in his head.
he finds a secret room in the cupboard.
The house kind of directs him there. That's the impression that he's almost trying to do everything he can to not deal with his own grief.
Yeah.
So it kind of he's kind of giving you the impression that he's trying to find anything. And really, is he actually hearing this banging? Is he in? But he's like, the house directed me into this room. I mean, it didn't, but
Bloody hell, those cobwebs were massive in that room. Must have
yeah.
been some big ass spiders in there.
Oh, I lost me spider the other day.
R.I.P. Spider.
Yeah, we've had a garden spider in the lobby, and I haven't had the heart to move her, and she must have died because she's not moving no more.
Oh no.
I have a weird thing with spiders. I get too attached to them, and I really shouldn't, but yeah, she's gone. Dead. Um, yeah, that house was very, very, my allergies would not be able to keep up with the amount of dust that was in that house.
Because when you walked in the room, you saw the Victorian wheelchair, like you say, and then you
Mm,
see the music box, and like you see, basically it's a kid's room, but you can't fucking tell that. Not one little bit could you tell that was a kid's room, but until he like starts going in the music box because it was so cobwebbed and grainy for me to look at. I was like,
mm,
what am I seeing here? It took me a little while to figure out it wasn't a chair, it was a wheelchair. It took me a little while to figure out that that was a music box, I didn't know what he was looking at until he opened it. Um,
I, I love that wheelchair though. It reminded us of what's that Christmas film we did that I really liked?
Black Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
reminded. I know it wasn't a wheel. Was it a wheelchair she was sitting in, or was it just a high chair, like a rocking chair?
Rocking
It was a.
chair.
It's just how high the back was. It reminded us of that. Also the taps
Mm,
when the taps turn on, and he gets a vision of a little boy drowning in a bathtub.
yeah.
He sees that too. So the house is really fucking with him, basically.
Joseph is not having fun. Well, he's having fun, but not.
Yeah. Well, John's made friends with a girl called Claire,
Hmm. From the
who actually,
Historical Society.
yeah, who instantly believes him.
Yeah, doesn't even question it. Instant.
No, instantly believes him and actually helps him to investigate the history of the house. Because he believes that the house has been haunted by a kid.
Mm,
He's oh, the ball as well.
mhm.
That hasn't that the ball scene hasn't happened, but the ball has been referenced where because he gets it, he can hear his daughter, and then the ball falls out of a box, and he's like, oh, a child.
That's my daughter.
Um, so yeah, he decides to hold a séance. Now, I absolutely adore this scene. It reminds me, for some strange reason, I was getting Rosemary Baby's vibes because I love the fact that it's older people doing it.
Is this the one with the automatic writing?
Yes, where she's
Yeah.
help,
It's not
help,
the
help.
one, right? Because I got to ask the question, what the hell was the cone?
No, I don't know what the corn is. I
Because
I
I was so confused.
I did I must have blinked because the corn was then in the middle of the table and I was like, What?
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that watch a lot more paranormal shows,
Mm.
or I do have some friends that know a lot about like the Victorian boom within the ghost practices and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. I'm sure there's such thing as called a spirit trumpet. So that might be what that is. But I couldn't tell because it just looked like a cone on the table. And I was like, where did that come from? What's that all about?
I was quite confused by it. But
I
I
did
did
like the
love this.
writing.
Oh yeah, I liked her, and I liked the bitch as well, the one who's, telling on him to other
Mm,
people.
yeah.
Again, I love the fact that, like, as in Rosemary's Baby, all of the Satan worshippers were all older people,
Mhm.
and I loved that. I thought that was, there's something so refreshing that it's not a younger person doing it. It's not fucking Ed and Lorraine Warren, it's somebody else. Um, it's someone older, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they can get taken more seriously.
She was really creepy though, the
She was,
lady.
oh, wasn't she?
In a good way. Like
Uh-huh.
she just had that vacant look. She managed to pull that off really, really well, the actress, where she
Hmm.
just completely zoned out and she was doing the automatic writing. And it was just going, help, 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 Joseph, help, help. And then they recorded the whole thing on his
That
thingy,
must have been
on his A
annoying as
track or whatever.
shit
Yeah.
trying to get backwards and forwards on.
Oh, and then after this, there's like a glass that shoots off and smashes up against the bureau,
That
isn't
made me fucking levitate because I've seen this movie 100 times, and I always forget that in that part the seance ends with a glass shooting across the table, and I always forget it, and I always get shocked by it.
it? Is this when he plays back just after is when he plays back the
Yeah,
tape, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, sitting having a cigarette, and he's just playing it back, and it's at first because you can hear the woman talking, and you can just just faintly pick out something, but then someone says something, someone says the actual word,
Mm,
but I don't know if that's the guy next to her reading the bit of paper.
yeah.
It must be, because then you can hear as he keeps rewinding it and fast forwarding it and rewinding it and like trying to, you can hear a voice starting to talk through,
Mm,
and I was like, oh my god, okay. That voice is absolutely hilarious, by the way.
yeah. Joseph, isn't it?
Joseph,
Joseph.
Joe is in the closet. It's, yeah. There's some. This movie is. It's very much a product of its time,
Yeah.
and there is some effects in it that in 2025 will make it sound hilarious. But if you are watching this for the first time, try and just remember where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I this is where then do you get the exposition? Because doesn't he go off and do some research and find out about
Yeah.
the whole
Yes.
thing? So you find out, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong,
Hmm?
Joseph was a sickly child, and
Mm-hmm.
the father, um, the grandfather left the child, not the son, the wealth, as long as the
No.
child would
Yes.
make it to the 21. As soon as the child made it to 21, then he would inherit
Yes.
all the money. However, the dad knew that the kid wouldn't make it to 21 because he was sickly. So he killed him in the bathtub, replaced him with another child, went off to cure the child for a couple of years, come back when they were 18 and went, this is my son. He's better now. And they inherited the money and then they went on to live full lives. And it turned out that Joseph was the first son, the original son, and the changeling is called the changeling because the second son, the replacement, is the changeling. Whereas I would have always thought, if you know like Fey law and if you know about like supernatural law, changelings are technically an entity that can mold themselves to be in a certain appearance. So I always thought that this film was going to be about that. And when I realized it's actually got no supernatural other than a ghost connotations to the word, I was very confused.
Yeah. Yeah. You everything you've just said, absolutely 100% correct.
Yay!
Yes.
I was paying
The
attention.
The Changeling is to do with the what'd you call it? The fact that the two boys are changed. The only one thing that you didn't say is that the boy, the fake Joseph Carmichael, goes on to be US State Senator. Now, the Changeling from 2008, which is Angelina Jolie movie, which I have said plenty of times is not to be mistaken with, is actually a really interesting story, and it's I don't know if it's a true story or it's based off true events. But it's set in 1928, where a mother and her son goes missing, and the LAPD was so fucking corrupt that instead of going to find this boy, they just give her another one. And she
That's your
spent
child.
this is your boy. Yeah. I don't know if it's real or not. I can't remember.
It is.
Because that it is, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's to do the story's based on the real events around the Wineville chicken coop murders. Because she's convinced that's where her boy was killed.
It was one of the boys that was killed in that, yeah. And
that's
they
right.
kept trying to give her this boy, saying, no, this is your son. And she's like, she got so excited when she first got him back, because she was like, this is my boy. She was just caught up in it.
Yeah.
Then she realised it wasn't him, because it had been such a period of time from when he went missing to when they gave him back that he got a bit older. So she wasn't entirely sure. And as it goes on, she realizes it's not her son, and she's adamant, and she tries to give him back and all that sort of stuff. And it's that story is pretty sad when you find out about that whole thing. But with this one, George seeks the senator down, doesn't he? I'll call him George, but John.
Firstly, he doesn't. I don't think he knows at this point that it is him until they actually find the bones of the boy. They're sent to a house
with the medallion thing.
Medallion, yeah. They're sent to the house that was once owned by the Carmichaels, or it was an estate of the Carmichaels, and the boy was actually buried in there. How trusting was that woman to allow him to take her bedroom floor out?
I'll be like, excuse me, no, fuck off.
She gets her son to come in. She's never met this man before. She is believing every word he is saying about this dead boy haunting him.
Yep.
And just goes, all right, son, go and get your axe, tack your bedroom floor up.
Yep. Nah, you're good.
There was some decent hardwood floor there, mind.
You know how expensive that is.
I know, my goodness. Yeah, but he was there, luckily. But yeah, the find that the medallion, this always again reminds us of Friends, is the whole, we'll give one twin one medallion, the other twin the other medallion, and then they'll lose each other, and then they'll find each other, and they'll put the medallion together, and it'll be a great time for everyone when Monica and Chandler have the twins. It's the third time this week Friends has come up for me. So yeah, they find the medallion. That's what links them to the senator, and he
has goes the same one, doesn't he?
And he goes to confront him, and he ends up getting his big bully man detective to go and tell him that if you don't back down, we're going to come and do X, Y, and Z. She gets sacked from her job. The lease is taken off him. What a way to hurt him, And he's like, well, if you don't give us the medallion, we're going to basically come and burn your house down. And George C. Scott just goes, I'll be here. Fucking yeah, because he's hot as fuck. So yeah, he eventually gets a one-on-one meeting with the senator, who outright, my father was a saint. My father didn't do anything. I am the true heir. And he's like, we all know. And I'm going to expose you. And then, yeah, it gets.
And then there's this is where it gets kind of.
It gets a bit muddy.
Weird, where he ends up with the senator ends up holding the medallion, and then he's like suddenly transported.
Yeah.
To the house.
Yeah.
He's not physically there, from what I can remember. He's still sitting where he is, but he's like transported in spirit to the house, and he is reliving, like watching his dad kill the kid. Am I right?
Yeah, he sees it all. The detective who threatened John was killed as well. Joseph knocked him off.
And then
on.
Joseph gives Joseph number 2 a heart attack, and he
Yes.
died. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
And then Joseph becomes pyromaniac, the ghost.
Yeah, it all kicks off. Where am I at? So they meet, John leaves, the skeleton Christian medallion along with a copy of the seance recording. Oh, that's right. So he's got evidence. Claire goes to the house to find John is being chased by Joseph's wheelchair. And yeah, this is something that's been parodied before. Until she falls down the stairs. When John arrives at the house, he begins to shake. He tries to appease Joseph's ghost but fails. And he falls, from the second floor, as the ghost sets the house on fire. Simultaneously, at the same time, Senator Joseph Carmichael is comparing the two medallions, realizing the truth, falls into a trance, and then dies.
Yeah. And then they manage to get out of the house, and then they drive away. And then as they get to the senator, they find the senator's dead. So then they turn around and they come back, and then they realize that the house has burnt down, and all that's left is a crispy wheelchair.
And the music box.
And the
which
music
is still
box.
playing the lullaby. The music box that's in it, I can't remember if he ends up creating the song from the music box, but doesn't realize that's where it's come from.
Yeah.
And the music, but in Joseph's death, where he's being killed by his father, he's in a old Victoria. It wouldn't have been Victorian times. However, this is the 1980s. The senator looked like he was in his 70s, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he was not a kid in the Victorian era.
1910 it would have been. So
Really?
if he was 70 and it was 1980, it would have been 1910 he was born.
I did not come here for maths, clearly.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. So yeah, he was sitting in a Victorian bath.
Yeah, in one of the tin baths, yeah.
Yeah, my mum actually has her bathroom it's not a Victorian styling, but it's Victorian furniture. The bath is the old tin style bath, but it's a full on big fucking marble thing, but that styling. Our bathroom's beautiful and very big. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the death scene. So the kid's lying in the bath, and the dad basically grabs him by the feet, and tips him into the water.
Yeah, not holding him up.
And he's not pushing on him.
No, he's just got
his feet. He's got his legs, and the kid's flailing around in the water, and then just fucking drowns. Honestly, but he's banging.
Yeah.
On the side, which is the banging that he could hear. Now, if he put his hands to the side of the bath and just went like that,
yeah, he would have been fine.
It'd have been totally fine. I mean, his dad probably would have knocked him down a few pegs or two, but it'd have been fine. Yeah, the death scene's weird.
It is all very strange. But like I say, that made me feel uncomfortable because I don't know if that was filmed in one go, or the kid had to hold its breath for that long whilst he was doing that. It just seemed like a long time that kid was under the water for. I mean, and I'm very aware of editing and how you can chop something to make it look bigger, but this is 1980.
Yeah, you're probably right. When we lay the movie out like I've just done, I'm not doing it any justice whatsoever. This is deemed as one of the most scariest movies of the 1980s.
It's one of Stephen King's favourites,
and the King is always right.
A lot of people even I think it's named in the original Scream movie as well. Neve Campbell says something about it. They do like a featurette. There's like a bit of extra on the DVDs, and I saw it on YouTube, and basically she sits there and she says, you know, there was this section where we were going to talk about the Changeling, because when we start talking about all the different movies and stuff, when Randy's having a moment and the Changeling's brought up, but that was all cut out. So there was a whole section about it in that. So that was a heavy influence from Wes Craven.
Yeah, it's honestly the movie director Martin Scorsese tops this as one of his top scary films of all time.
Same with Guillermo del Toro, he classes it as one of his top 5.
Yeah, and the director did say that he felt very intimidated by George C. Scott, and he was a little bit difficult to work with.
I can believe that.
All over a chessboard.
Really?
Yeah. He used to play chess. A lot of old actors. Humphrey Bogart used to take a chessboard with him on every movie he did. Well, he wanted to be a pro player, but
Yeah.
he used to take a chessboard with him everywhere that he went, and he would just find people on set just to come play chess. And you will always see in a Humphrey Bogart movie a chessboard because it's his.
Yeah.
Because he brings it with him and he just wants to play it. And George C. Scott was exactly the same. Humphrey Bogart actually was doing a long distance game with somebody overseas during World War II and was sending. They would literally write letters to each other with their next move. The letters were intercepted, and they thought that they thought that Humphrey Bogart was giving out secrets.
Amazing.
And then he had to go, no, it's a chess game. It's just a chess game. But yeah, apparently a chessboard got knocked over on set, and George C. Scott had been playing a game by himself with himself for
All right.
almost 2 weeks, and it was ruined, and it apparently became very difficult.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with man's chessboard. You really don't. This movie is, like I said, when we lay it out the way that we have done, it doesn't make it sound the greatest. And I know a lot of people, when I said I was doing the Changeling this week, were like, okay. For me, I feel it is one of the most atmospheric ghost stories / mystery ever. It has a place. It really does. It's not scary anymore, even though I still do get a few jumps in it, but I can feel what it was meant to be like and how it was meant to be seen back in 1980. You agree?
It has
You don't have to agree.
no, it definitely has its place. And if it has inspired that many people, it's clearly when it came out had an impact. They have given it cult movie status, not like it's not like a classic as in like everybody goes, oh yeah, do you remember that film? It's not a classic in that respect. It's given cult status because it did make 12 million in the box office, so it doubled the initial budget almost. But it wasn't a flop either, but it just sort of coasted when it came out. And it's become one of those films that the longer it's been out, so we're talking, it was filmed 78 to 79 and it was released in March 1980. So it came out 2 months before I was born. So this movie, it's been going for 45 years. So for it to have inspired as many movies by as many directors and authors and screenwriters that it has, proves to show that it was bloody good when it came out. I wish I'd seen this film 20 years earlier. I've always known of it because you know that wheelchair scene and you know the bouncy ball scene. It's been parodied, it's been copied, it's you just know that's where it's come from. Like I said, I've seen the opening 1,000 times on like top best openings and shit like that. But this film, I'd never seen it all the way through. I thought I had, it's one of those movies I would have gone, yeah, I've seen it, and then I realised I hadn't. But I wish I'd seen it 20 years ago because I feel like it would have had more of an impact than it did on me then.
I
But
get that.
it's not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. It just took a lot of concentration because, like I say, with some slow burners, I find them kind of almost verging on painful. Like they just can't get to the point, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh,
That's for some, but like that was almost, it was on the cusp of kind of getting me frustrated that I was getting kind of bored, like not bored, but I was impatient. I think that was what, because something's coming. It's coming. They can't give you an hour and a half with nothing,
No, this is something that I'm trying to kind of train in myself to keep remembering when I'm watching these movies that there is. I mean, I would be really disappointed if there's no payoff, but I have to believe that there has to be a payoff, and what has been laid down is the groundwork to get to that payoff. But I have become so greedy and so needing to get to the point that I am not, my patience is being tested.
Yeah.
It's Salem's Lot. I have just finished Salem's Lot, the book, and I was getting so antsy with the fact that there was a whole fucking world building going on when all I wanted to do was get to the fucking vampires. And I needed that world building in order to bring me to the vampires, but I was so impatient. I have to keep reminding myself that these things have got to lay themselves out. And I totally get what you mean. I think we've just been really spoiled with movie. I think because we've had so many movies that have just been so generic and Blumhousey that we're kind of like forgetting the age old, let's just tell a really good story.
Yeah,
Regardless of how long that's going to take, let's
I
just
think
tell a
that's the
really good
thing.
story.
It wasn't a bad story,
No,
but I
it's
also
not.
have issues with when something could have been a short story and
Versus
it's
being,
put into a format of a full movie, and
yes.
there just isn't enough
Okay,
there
yeah.
to warrant that. And sometimes I feel like the padding that they do, which they class as suspense or building or
Hmm.
all those things, doesn't add anything to the film. It doesn't add anything to that scene. It doesn't add
Mm.
anything. And I'm not saying that's the sentiment with this movie, but that's
No,
just
but I know what you mean.
I sometimes that's why I get frustrated because I'm like, I'm taking it right. This is gonna sound really bloody arrogant, and I do apologize, but my time is precious to me, right? So when I sit down and I watch a film, any film, free will or something for the podcast, I want
Hmm.
to get an experience out of it, right? Because I'm giving up an hour and a half, 2 hours, two and a
Hmm.
half hours of my own time, to sit and appreciate this thing. And you're always going to get bum films. You are. That's just the law. You're going to come away from some things and go, what the hell did I just watch? But then the more you watch it, it could become your favorite film. Like that's
Yeah.
something, again, that I had with Ready Player One when that came out, right? I'd
Yeah.
listened to the audiobook. I was in love with the audiobook. Will Wheaton read it, and I was absolutely head over heels with it. Watch the film. Oh Christ, that was the worst thing I'd ever seen. Now it's one of my favorite films. Me and Rob love that. Well, not favorite films as in all-time favorite
No,
films.
no, I get you.
In
Like,
that kind of world of like
I,
animated and movie and pop culture, they done when you sit and you can appreciate it
yeah,
more. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's just the amount of Easter eggs in it and the amount of things that I absolutely really do enjoy about that film now, which
I
I
liked
didn't
it.
on first watch. So this is what I mean with like the more you watch a film,
Yeah, the more you learn to appreciate
you hear things, you see
it.
different things you didn't see before on the
Hmm.
first watch. So there's always that element of giving it a chance, unless it is an absolute turkey, and then you don't have to watch it ever again. But
No, no, and I think there's something in you when you're watching it going, I need another chance with this. I need another time with this.
yeah,
I need to watch
sure.
this again.
I definitely,
100%.
I definitely will watch this in my own time, and I will
Hmm.
watch it again. Um,
I just,
I know there's so much of a slow burn, and there's so much
yeah,
of those empty silences. I'll be
you can,
prepared for it, I think.
yeah, you can just appreciate it. And the main theme through this movie is grief and loss,
Yeah.
massively. And it does allow you in some places to allow that drawn outness to really play on the grief, and also the blurring the lines between his actual psyche and what is actually going on.
Mm.
Like, has his grief caused him to create all of this in his mind, or is it actually really happening?
Yeah.
Honestly, there's some really good storytelling in here. I'm not saying it's the most perfect film that has been made, as in its cinematography, because there is some sketchy bits in it. There is some parts that, if things were cut together differently, the opening scene could have been a hell of a lot more. Oh shit, we wouldn't be taking the piss out of it.
Well, you look at
But
Pet Cemetery with Gage.
oh my god, yeah, Gage,
You saw nothing,
no. Yep.
but it was horrific. And yes,
Hmm.
okay, it was a child, but there was a
Hmm.
child involved in this situation as well.
Yeah,
And by the way, Miko was at For the Love of Horror,
he
which
was, and he looks so. He
I
honestly.
only found that out afterwards.
Oh, you are joking. Hey, he grew he grew into that face. It's
Well,
so weird to find Gage attractive.
I saw him in obviously the band We Do Not Names video for Funeral Derangements. He's in that,
Yes.
and he plays the guy
Yes.
driving the truck,
Of course, yeah. The guy
which
who
I think
kills
is
him.
funny. But yeah, he's also, I forgot he was in Kindergarten Cop.
Oh my god. I only found that out at the weekend.
I forgot he was in Kindergarten Cop. penis.
I only found that out the weekend. Yeah, I knew he was there. I saw someone giving him a diorama of Pet Cemetery, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Sometimes
Um,
it's better.
sometimes death is better.
I've got a skull I bought from the Black and Teeth who were there downstairs. It's a skull on a plinth, and it's got "Sometimes dead is better" written on the forehead.
I'm just telling you this now. If the Fred Gwynn head is if it's not in your will to go to me after your demise, I will fucking haunt you in some way or
Literally,
another.
I can see him looking at me through the gap behind my webcam, and there's the Titus statue from Warhammer, and he's literally looking through his legs behind the camera. Fred is literally doing his death stare.
I know what that bust looks like, and that
Yeah.
is fucking unhinged. It's like when I'm in the shower, because I live in a bungalow and my bathroom is like right here, so that this door here is open,
Yeah.
and I can see in here, and directly there is my Terrifier bag. And when the light hits him, he glows.
Yeah.
And you know when you just like you see something at the corner of your eye, and I'm like, shit, it's okay. It's just a bag.
Yeah, that would yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, I'm just telling you now, if I don't get him in your will, it's gonna be hell on.
I'll be dead, I don't care. But yeah,
I don't know who I have to fight for it, Dan, so I'm just telling you, put it in your fucking will.
I will do.
Have you got your 1-star reviews for the movie?
I do. Okay, so we're going to start with Anonymous on Rotten Tomatoes. They gave it 1.5. Now,
Oh, okay.
I want to make very clear this was a hard movie to find people giving 1 stars to.
Oh my God, okay.
So there goes
That
that.
makes my heart happy.
Well, on Rotten Tomatoes and on IMDb, I came up very, very short. But I found this one on Rotten Tomatoes, 1.5 stars. And the comment is, "That wheelchair is some scary shit."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant review.
Okay. 1.5 stars for that one.
Like that.
The next one I found on Letterboxd, and it was 0.5 star. And it was by Aloe Safim.
Hello.
Now this is a bit of a one, but it's not very long. But hypnagogic swill from the rear end of the 70s. If the buttonless sweater and collared shirt combo was a movie.
I just felt like you said a lot of words there.
Hypnagogic threw me straight away.
What? Hypnagogic?
Yeah. I'm going to Google this just to make sure.
My dyslexic eyes would not be able to take that in. It would literally just look like word salad.
Now, bear in mind, I do know what this means. It's like it's a transitional state of consciousness between being awake and falling asleep. It's that period before you hit REM.
How can we use this in a sentence on a day-to-day basis? Hypnagogic.
You know when you're doing that thing where you're not quite lucid. You know you can hear.
And you're like, are you nodding dogs?
Yeah, but you can hear, but you know you're asleep, but you're still kind of awake. And it will just take. Do you know what I mean? You've got that weird.
And that's what that is. Hypnagogic.
Hypnagogic. Yeah, I thought it was something like that, but I didn't want to say it out loud in case I was wrong.
The more you know.
Basically saying it's shit that will put you to sleep from the Arsene.
Oh.
And he's saying if it was equated to clothing, it would have been a dad jumper with a collar on the outside, like a.
Oh, so you're just saying it's really dull.
Yes, that's exactly what that person.
Do you know what? I get it. I'm not stupid. This is my love affair with 70s mid-80s horror is that I love that feeling of it. Like I get warm and fuzzies when I'm watching Rosemary's Baby. Like I there's something about that era of movie making that I just absolutely adore, and this fits in there absolutely perfect. So I'm not blinded by the fact that this movie could be cast as dull. I'm really not.
No, I think the general consensus when I was looking through was that the people were saying it was too slow. That was, and none of it was like, again, there was no real like exposition. They never went into any more detail. It was just too slow for me. Not for me. I can appreciate why people like it, but it was just painfully slow. And that's fine. But there really wasn't much out there in the way of constructive, again, like constructive reviews, which, come on, guys, like if you're going to leave a review, give something. I'm not saying give an epilogue. You don't have to do a 42-page essay, just a small paragraph of why you didn't like it. You don't have to make it funny. But good God, you don't have to make it, oh, well, it was boring because it was slow.
I tell you
even
what,
bother.
if any of one of our listeners actually do drop a review on one of these sites, Letterboxd, do it on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
And if it's doing it with a movie that we're doing, let us know. And Dan will do it as part of a 1-star review.
Yeah, let me know if you guys do any reviews on IMDb, Letterboxd, Rotten Tomatoes. Give me your link to your reviews and I will come and have a look. And if I find them funny enough and they're a 1-star review, you may be on here.
Yeah. Before we do the 666 Degrees of Jake, I just want to say a massive thank you to my little buddy Jean, who went out of her way. I know she's going to be listening to this, because she gives me a running commentary at work while she's listening. I just want to say a big thank you. I love you for watching this movie. I love the fact that you went out and did it. So thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. 666 Degrees of Jake.
Hi, Jean. Bye, Jean. Right, yeah, we've got George C. Scott starred in 1984's Stephen King's adaptation of Firestarter, starring Drew Barrymore. Drew has had many roles over the years, including her own talk show, but my standout performance is in 1993's Wayne's World 2, where she played Björgen Gejörgen.
From Flurgen Schneeken.
Christopher Walken starred as Bobby, Cassandra's music manager. Walken's career has spanned 70 years, with hundreds of TV and film appearances. Yeah. In 2012, he starred in 7 Psychopaths with Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell. Sam is on my top 5 people I want to meet in the world. I'd just like to leave that there. He has starred in movies such as The Green Mile, Moon, 3 Billboards from Ebbing, and White Lotus, the TV show.
Oh.
Sam lends his voice to a character in 2016's video game Dishonored 2 called Mortimer. Roger Jackson, who voices Ghostface, also is in it. Rosario Dawson and Pedro Pascal also appeared. Plus, Vincent D'Onofrio, who voiced Duke, Luca, Abel, and also played Dawson/Thor in Adventures in Babysitting.
D'Onofrio, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't know Rockwell and him had worked together. And then I was like, I got to Rockwell and I was like,
and you did it with a video game?
Yeah, I was like, do I go Harrelson or do I go Rockwell? Let's just see who's worked with Vincent or worked with Elizabeth or worked with Keith or, when I'm starting to Google. And
yeah,
they came up as working as voice actors on a computer, on the video game together. So
I remember when Dishonored 2 came out.
It's 2016, yeah.
Yeah. I remember when it came out.
Wow, okay. The list on that is insane. Like,
it's nuts.
Pascal, Dawson.
This is Pascal when he's not Pascal though.
Yeah. And like when you look at it now, Roger Jackson, for crying out loud, the iconic Ghostface. Literally, I heard him do the voice on the screens.
Oh, yeah.
And like it is 100% him. Anybody ever tries to tell you it wasn't Jackson, it was 1,000,000% Jackson.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to see them. I haven't seen. I know some of the panels are up there that people have recorded.
They'll come out soon on the official channel.
Oh, okay. I'd rather wait for that then. Wow. Okay, so that was the Changeling. Another little shout out before we move on and tell you what's happening for our Halloween special. Thank you, Sam Munster, for 3 weeks in a row listening to our podcast.
You win an award. Well
Yay! Done. Thank you.
And thank you for coming up and saying hello, my darling. And also thank you to Zara for coming and saying hello, and to Emily Boo, all 3 of those guys. And there's a long list of others, but those 3 guys, please go and follow them on the socials. I tell you what, each have their own unique way of presenting that from Emily's like lifestyle and just general day-to-day life. You've got Zara with her infinite knowledge of absolutely everything horror.
Everything.
And then you've got Sam with Sam's kind of Halloween house and home and everyday life and general.
Her movie reviews as well.
Yeah.
Sam's been doing a lot of movie reviews,
And her
and they're absolutely.
podcast with her interviews as well.
Yes, her podcast as well. Her movie reviews, her written ones are absolutely amazing.
Mm.
Zara has been doing the 31 days of cosplay. It is unreal. She has reached like the creature from Black Lagoon last year blew my fucking mind. She is kind of oh my god, she's just absolutely fucking beautiful. She did Michelle Pfeiffer the other day.
Yeah, so to see Angry Princess, that one impressed
Yes,
me. Yes.
yeah.
You as a blonde, Zara. You as a blonde. Maybe say, I don't recommend changing, but
no, love your hair as it is, but oh my god, girl. Oh, beautiful. Halloween.
correct.
It is among us. We are nearly at the end of October. And last year we did something very different for what we normally do. We did a whole episode on true crime. We're going to do exactly the fucking same this time, yeah.
Well, you loved it that much.
Yeah. So because it is spooky season, but we do spooky all year round. And for Halloween, we're going to do a change for the usual content. And we're going to go down the true crime route. I can't remember what we called it, Dan.
Well, we were going to call it True Crime and Movies. So basically, what we're going to talk about is how true crime and true events have inspired movies and how they become like pop culture phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Yeah, so how they've done that, and how it might not necessarily be the dark stuff. It could be any kind of type of true crime. And it might not just be the obvious ones, because everybody's gonna go, "Oh, you're gonna talk about it again." Well, yeah, we might offload.
We are. I have saved everything that I want to say about that for this, because the way that I wanted to put it together for ourselves was the blurred line between informative,
Yes,
and glamorization. I really, really pull that out of my arse to make sure I got them words right there. Yeah, to me, it's the line between the ones that are giving you actual knowledgeable, this is what actually happened, versus the glamorization and romanticizing these real life monsters, and obviously talking about the other movies that have not movies that have potentially been inspired by true crime, that have had true crime events happened in them, ones that really are basically biopics of these people.
yeah,
Everything.
but it might not just be the ones that you're aware of. We might be talking about cases that you've never heard of that have inspired movies. So this is a new one, and I'm quite intrigued about this one for sure. And I've still got 7 episodes of Ed Gein to watch, so.
You don't have to do it. I promise you, you really don't have to do it. If you don't want to, I can totally.
No, I have to watch it because.
Oh, she's a completionist.
I want to. Yeah, I'm a completionist. Plus, I want to moan about it justifiably. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
I've watched the first episode and that annoyed the shit out of me. So I need to watch all 7 to feel justified in feeling annoyed. So
no, I get you. I said I was only going to watch, because I didn't watch the other one, the Menendez brothers ones, and I never will. But I said if I'm going to have an opinion on this, I'm going to have to watch it, and I did, and I have held off so much. All these people talking about it when it came out, and I'm like, no, save it.
I can't get past the dogs with the Billy Bear ham on their face going, "Do you love me?" or whatever it's saying, like I can't say it. It just makes me laugh every time.
That video I sent you last week.
Yeah, where Gein's, "Oh, my face." It's like, what on earth is happening here? I am disturbed, intrigued.
Oh, I love the idea that you are going to watch it, so we can actually have a proper conversation about it. Don't get us wrong, the episode is not fully on Gein. I'm going to make that damn clear.
No. many other films I want to talk about, and
Yeah.
it will only be short little. We're not going to go into like full detail. They're just going to
No.
maybe a 5 minute, 10 minute slot about that film.
Yeah.
We go off on one about it again, which I feel like might happen, but
But this is something that we're going to do. Not all. I can't say that this is what we'll do next Halloween. I don't know. It's just when you do horror content all the time, and it's Halloween,
hmm
and your Halloween episode, you're like, well, what do I do? What do...
Let's do something scary.
Oh, did that.
Done that one.
Done that one. Do you
Shall
know
we
what we
do
could? You know what
Halloween
we could
about
do?
everybody else?
Do you know what we could do for one Halloween? And I might brave it for it. We could do the movie I won't watch, the cannibal one.
Oh Christ! You're gonna have a heart attack if you have to watch Cannibal Holocaust. You'd have a heart
Mm.
attack.
Yeah, I think we should. I think at one Halloween we
Die.
should do that. That would be.
You'd die. You'd literally
That'll be
have
the
to watch.
true crime.
Yeah, you'd have to watch it in chunks because you literally no pun intended there, but like
No, I've seen the first 10 minutes, so we can count that out, and then I'll go, I'll go on
fast forward it, yeah, and then watch the next
We'll
10.
go on the next 10 minutes, and then I can wait a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that. But yeah,
Just start watching it in January, and then she'll be prepared for October.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
All good.
So yeah, true crime in the movies next week.
Yeah.
For our Halloween special. So this has been the Changeling, true crime in the movies next week. Our episodes go out every Monday on the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel from 8 o'clock in the morning. No, from 10 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, and the audio gets put out on the same day, so you get to see us or you get to hear us all on the same day. But you must search Monsters Up North podcast from anywhere you get your podcast from. Apart from iTunes, you don't need to do that. If you actually type in Nerdy Up North, we just come up. There's our little folder is just there, and you just click on Frankie's face, and you'll find all of our episodes. The links for Bleeding Marvelous, Monsters Up North, and Nerdy Up North are where, Dan? I don't see nails.
Down
I
there.
saw you got them different.
Yeah, it's Jason.
It's Jason. Hey, buddy. Dan, they're unreal.
So we got Jason ones today. So
They're cool. I like them. Sorry.
they're from Sheen. Not my nails, but the transfers, just in case anybody wants to know where I got them from, because some people do ask. My transfers of the last lot of the old movie posters was from a place called 77 Nails. They're in the US. And these are from Sheen, these transfers. They were like £3. So
Well, I just have my homegrown stumpy nails. Like anyone's fucking interested. Like anyone's interested. I've been waiting off that whole time just to see your nails. I was going to ask you earlier and I was like, no, wait. Well, hey, Dan, if there's nothing else left to say goodbye.
none of this belongs to you. Bye.
Oh, stay spooky, everyone. Bye.